Hello and welcome to Warcraft Daily for today, the 9th of August 2013. So today's news is actually pretty cool. We have Timeless Isles updates, pet cap increases, and a whole bunch of blue tweets. So the first thing is the Timeless Isles. Now there's been an update to the Isle, and it's got some great stuff. Now this is mostly with vendors and rewards, and there's new things added that I think a lot of you guys are going to like. So first up we have the Burden of Eternity. Now this is the item that will upgrade one of the 496 caches to a 535. Now 535, pretty high item level. This is obtained now, well, can be obtained for 50,000 tokens. 50,000, that is a pretty big number. And yeah, it'll take quite a while. This is the equivalent of about 700 kills at 70 tokens a kill. However, of course, you'll be getting them from chests, and you know it'll be a little bit faster than that. Still, it's quite a lot of killing, quite a lot. There's also item level 535 trinkets. These are in a variety of flavors, and they just give some of your, like, a primary or secondary stat and then an on-use or a proc. Now these currently also cost 50,000 timeless coins, which I suppose is fair enough because it's in line with the cost of the Burden of Eternity. So that's really as far as we go in terms of the high item level loot. But we also have some very cool things. So there's a 496 trinket coming out, and it costs 7,500 timeless coins. It's called a Time Lost Artifact. Now, what it does, it's 1200 mastery, and it grants you some haste for your melee and range attacks. But what's interesting is that it actually has a teleport. It's on a 60-second cooldown that will take you to the Timeless Isle. So whether it's for an alt or just for your main getting to the Isle, it'll be very, very useful. And finally, the new thing we have is actually the Heavenly Golden Cloud Serpent. This was added in patch 5.0.1, but we haven't actually been able to get it until then, and it's essentially pretty similar to Yulon in the day phase. Now, the interesting thing is this guy costs 100,000 timeless coins. That is nearly 1,500 elite mob kills. It'll probably take you quite a while to farm this, and you also need to be exalted with the Xiao Hao faction. But I've got to say, this mount looks absolutely immense. It is, so good. I could even, I'm not somebody that usually farms for things. I could nearly see myself farming for this, and that's saying quite a lot. So yeah, really good stuff. The Timeless Isle just continues to look stronger and stronger and stronger as we go on. I'm really excited for it, and from what I've done on the PTR, it's really fun. Now the next thing is a little bit short, but it's a pet cap increase. So Corey Stockton announced on Twitter that they will be upping the pet cap to 1,000, which is very nice. I don't know if you need room for 1,000 pets, but hey, it's nice to have the option. And the next thing is just some general blue tweets and stuff from the Blizzard staff. So Ghostcrawler has actually said that he has no comment on heirloom weapons. This definitely does indicate that they're not sure about a lot of things with them. Are they really from level 90 to 100? Do they give XP or not? Hopefully not, because I think that would unbalance leveling a little bit. There's lots of things, and they will be changed. At the minute, they seem to be scaling to item level 574 at level 90, and that sounds a little bit ridiculous, and I'm pretty sure it'll be toned down. They have said multiple times to all the different sort of news outlets that it's all sort of tentative and nothing's set in stone, and of course it's the PTR, so you should always take that as, take everything with a grain of salt. Next up, the 20% Throne of Thunder debuff is because they reckon when 5.4 drops, it's a pretty good time that the people who are struggling through Throne of Thunder, they should be allowed to complete it. Now, I remember, actually, it was a similar change to this that actually forced Total Biscuit out of the game, which was interesting, and I suppose given the time it was actually quite the controversy. I think in light of the current model of doing things that Blizzard have, that this buff is fair enough, and it does help sort of skim on the other people. There's no equivalent to ICC 10, the sort of more doable version. So really there are guilds that are going to be alienated by normal mode, at least for this tier. Of course, once Flex comes out, I don't really know if the 20% nerfs will be necessary, because Flex will be there as an easier difficulty mode for people to clear through if they have been struggling. I just think the Flex is such a dynamic and elegant system. It really is going to bring a lot of positivity to the game. Really pretty excited for it, actually. Now, they said that they prefer the current model of loot and stuff to the Cataclysm one, because in Cataclysm it was way, way, way too easy to have loads and loads of fully geared characters and nothing to do. Because at the end of the day, if you're just trying to get one or two characters geared up, like you are in MoP, and it's hard, you have to put effort in. At least you're getting gameplay out of that, you're getting effort, you're doing things, it's a little bit more interesting. Whereas in Cataclysm, really in a few months, you could be fully geared, completely fully geared and have nothing to do. And it's always worse when there's nothing to do, right? So I think that's definitely a good change in philosophy. I know a lot of people are just saying, oh, give us the Wrath, or, well, they say Wrath Cata model. I think Wrath is okay. Cataclysm perhaps took it too much in the direction of loot being easy to acquire. They were, epics really were essentially greens back in Cataclysm, which was just rather unfortunate. And finally, for today's news, they said that they are concerned that LFR actually robs the motivation of people not to do normals, because those audiences don't really cross, but it robs the motivation to make friends and guild up, and I think it's the making friends and getting in guilds that is what motivates normals. And I think this is really one of the key areas where a lot of people now play LFR, whereas if it wasn't there as an option, they would have found a guild and they would be doing normals or in the next patch flexes. I think LFR is one of those systems that Blizzard thought was a good idea at the time, and now they just wish they could undo it. I think it's pretty clear that they wish they could undo the stupidity of LFR, because just, all the different changes and things. At the end of the day, if Flex was there, people would have been able to do an 8 to 25 person raid, and really, you'd still be in a guild, you'd be having that fun, the social raiding experience that is enjoyable. You'd still be getting places, and you'd have a bit of a challenge. And also, more importantly, Flex can be pugged. The thing is with Flex, at least someone has ownership of the raid. Now, whether the pug leader is a complete douche or not, at least there's a little bit of a chain of command. And that's important. Anyone who's been in LFR knows that mob rule doesn't work, especially in LFR. You need someone that has a little bit of skill to take the helm. Now, I actually think that in LFR, there should be some sort of way for people to designate themselves as being experienced. Perhaps if you're, I don't know, you have a normal achievement or something, it should give you a more leadership-ish sort of role in LFR so that you can help guide people. But really, I just think LFR, ugh. If only Flex had came first, I think the game would be in a very different state than it is currently. But anyway, enough of me rambling, that is it for today's show. Now, in terms of what's coming up on the channel, I'm going through Northrend on my Death Knight, and I actually think that the Let's Play I'm going to do is going to be very good. It's something that I'm sort of interested about, passionate about, therefore I think I can give a good commentary. I think there's way too many Let's Plays going on these days where people are just like, what's the next bandwagon to get on? Let's make a completely uninspired and boring commentary. I mean, hell, the amount of Let's Players that I see that literally just sort of go, oh, hello, character X, or they try to always come up with some witty come back to some exposition, or it's really just sort of lowest common denominator bullshit, so I think I can do better than that, and that's the goal anyway. I'll see when I put the video out. But that's really it for me. Thank you for watching, please like and subscribe and favourite, and I'll see you next time.